Just about the craziness that happened this weekend. Yesterday, Omarosa's on Meet the Press, and we find out there that she actually, after being taken into the Situation Room, records a conversation in there, which of course is one of many breaches that seem to occur in that White House every day. But the chaos continues. Here's somebody that Donald Trump's been close with for well over a decade, and she's claiming that he uses the N-word, claiming quite a few things. But again, the big takeaway that she's recording the conversation of the chief of staff as he's firing her in the Situation Room.
I was struck, Joe, by my conversation with a different range of sources on this. White House officials, people who are part of the Republican Party establishment, they're taken aback by what Ms. Manigault Newman is doing with her book. They say she has no credibility. Yet when you call longtime friends of President Trump, people who've been at that 26th floor on Trump Tower and seen the kind of people coming in and out, seen then businessman Donald Trump shouting at his assistants for a Diet Coke, asking, threatening friends and enemies that they could be recorded. They've shrugged at this book in a sense. They say this is how it's always been in Trump world, a mix of celebrity, politics, ego, and business, and it continues today. It's the White House officials who don't really know what to make of it and are struck by it.
That haven't been, John Heilemann, that haven't seen Donald Trump in action at Trump Tower. It's a sight to behold. But you now have, though, one of his longest TV partners in Omarosa, and also his fixer, his attorney fixer. Right. Both of them would record Donald Trump all the time. It's almost as if they knew, like Monica Lewinsky, that they had to preserve the evidence.
Yeah, people who've known Trump for a long time. These are people who are not new to him. They're people who, as Bob said, not just were familiar, have been in that office, but were familiar with the kind of modus vivendi, the modus operandi of Donald Trump as he moved through the world. I think that a lot of them recognize that the loyalty that they were expected to give to Donald Trump might not be returned to them fully in the future, and that they needed to have some kind of insurance policy against that. There are also people who were demonstrably trying, and again, this doesn't excuse anything about Donald Trump, but they were also, in Michael Cohen's case and in Omarosa's case, people who were trying to use their relationship with Donald Trump to try to profit one way or the other, either financially, reputationally, in terms of their status in the world. These are not people who were not self-interested. And so, again, you look at many of the things she says about Donald Trump come as news to no one. The notion that Donald Trump is a racist, that he says racist things. This is the furthest thing from breaking news in the world. But I think you look at her and you say that this is someone who was using Donald Trump just as Donald Trump was using her. The nature of the transaction was clear to both of them. The notion that she's claiming now, that she suddenly looked up very late in her time and realized that she was complicit in having given him racial cover. She knew from the very beginning that that's what she was there to do. This is not a stupid person. This is a person with maybe no conscience, no soul, and no ethics, but she's not a person with no brain. And she knew what her role was. She used it, she embraced it, and then when it was time to go, she's now taking advantage of the opportunity to cash in. And, is she laying bare some things about Donald Trump? She is. But none of them are news to anyone who's been paying attention over the course of the last couple of years.
So, Mark Leibovich, what always is a surprise to me, and I guess it shouldn't be a surprise to me because it keeps happening so much, is exactly the type of people who will do whatever Donald Trump wants them to do. And despite the fact they know that the story always ends badly. You always end up under the bus, and he will drive it forward and then drive it back. Call you a low lie. In your cover story, I guess several months ago on, this town under Trump. My God, the faces and the names that have changed since then around the president, but they all go out the way the Steve Bannons of the world go out. There's never a happy ending. So Why do people now like Rudy Giuliani? Why do they go on TV, embarrass themselves, and contradict themselves every 5 minutes when they know it always ends badly?
Well, there is certainly we've seen this movie before quality to this. And I think in a lot of cases, maybe certainly in Omarosa's case, it's not like she was going to get a job in any other White House. I mean, Donald Trump was the last shot for a lot of people. It was not, I mean,
Yeah.
Michael Cohen was not going to be the lawyer for a future or current or former president anytime soon. Michael Flynn wasn't going to be a national security advisor. Paul Manafort wasn't going to be a campaign manager. So you see this pattern of desperation becomes jobs, becomes things that end very, very badly, either with some kind of public and unseemly feud like this, or indictments in the case of Manafort or Flynn and others. So, look, this is a very familiar story, but you do have to step back periodically, and every time it happens, you have to try to and just say, wow, this is happening in the White House. This is not a two-bit operation anymore. This is our country.
Yeah, this is happening in the White House. And thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.